Hey everyone, welcome to Weeb Psycho TV. Today we're going to talk about this web novel called Supreme Magus by Legion 20 and why this is one of the best beginner web novels to start in 2020. I started reading this web novel a week and a half ago, and I'm already on chapter 500 at the time of this video. It currently has 583 chapters. The author constantly updates, an average of 15 chapters per week. The reason I started reading this web novel is that quarantine has gotten to the point anime has not been cutting it for me as entertainment. There's not a lot of high-quality new anime at the moment, besides The Tower of God. Shout out to Crunchyroll for creating their own original anime, which is based on the webtoon. Also, there's a lack of quality manhwa and manhwas. Many of the new manhwas and manhwas have no original ideas, and it is either poorly written, or the story is not that interesting to keep me reading. Just a reminder to my audience, this is my opinion. If you don't agree with me, and if there's a better web novel out there, please let me know, down below in the comments. Without any further ado, let's get this video going. Before I start telling you the reason why this web novel is the best novel for beginners, please like, comment, and subscribe so I know you enjoy these types of videos. First, I'm going to give you a quick synopsis. The main character, Derek McCoy, was a man who spent his entire life facing adversity and injustices, which includes being abused as a child and having to be a witness of Derek's little brother also being abused and his inability to protect him. After being forced to settle with surviving rather than living, he had finally found his purpose in the world until everything was taken from him. After losing his life to avenge his murdered brother, he reincarnates into an alien soldier's body. The body that he inhabits was on an alien ship in an unknown place in the universe, and again dies soon after. So it seems each time he loses his life, he's able to reincarnate to some other body, anywhere in the universe. In his next reincarnation, he finds himself in a world worth living in, a world filled with magic and monsters. This is his journey, from grieving brother to the alien soldier, from infant to Supreme Magus. Supreme Magus is one of the best mage development fantasy stories that I encountered along my web novel reading journey. Supreme Magus has 3 chapters of prologue, which talks about Derek's life before being reincarnated and what leads up to him dying in the first place. In most stories, the author does not take their time to get the audience introduced to the main character and relate with the character and build strong connections. In the beginning, it starts out quite sad and makes the reader really empathize with Derek's life. The author Legion 20 did a great job giving more context on who Derek is, and not just diving in the reincarnation in the first chapter, or even first 3 paragraphs of the story. When the author does that, the audience knows that the author is rushing the story, and that author does not have a well-thought-out storyline. This lets the reader get to know the character and be invested in the story. Also, the author's grammar is pretty good, comparing to most web novels out there. I'm not sure if he has an editor, but so far there have been very rare cases of grammatical errors, which makes for an easier read. Other stories with bad grammar usually take the reader out of the immersion of the story, especially if he has to reread sentences to try to understand what the author's trying to convey in his story. The author does a great job of world building in all his chapters. It doesn't contain an ounce of filler chapters. Each chapter has a purpose to get you further invested in the main character's story. There are many arcs in the story, but none of them seem either rushed or having the main character being overpowered or one-shot kill type of fights and storylines. Each arc connects with each other, and you can tell they're carefully thought out because how they correlate to his development as a character and his journey to protect everything that's important to him, which leads to him attaining enough power to be called a Supreme Magus, as the title states. His prior lives have been very depressing and filled with suffering, so we as the audience really hope that the main character finds some happiness. The main character's personality is one that the readers can relate to. Furthermore, we as the reader can understand why he acts like he does. Numerous other characters in other web novels, manhwa and manhua, lack actual character development and just end up being a naive person being OP and all about justice. As real people reading these stories, we know that personalities are not that simple. The main character's decisions, temperament aligns with his origins, which is a huge deal so that the audience can see why he does things and relate to his thinking and actions. The authors created a mana and spell system, which is very complex and detailed, and the characters are varied and creative, well thought out and lovable. The world is also very well designed and described by the author, which infatuates the audience. The world has complex political situations and great complex battles, which make the story very enjoyable. Overall, the book has an overwhelming sense of self. This isn't a story that follows every other trope or timeline, but one that follows its own path. Not only that, the story is consistent and makes sense. The foreshadowing is used correctly and makes the reader want to read more. The characters have shown steady, fluid development, and the world building is one of the best I've ever read. That's all we got for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with this being the best beginner web novel for 2020. If you have any suggestions of web novels you want me to review and talk about for the next video, please leave it down in the comments. Also, don't forget to leave a like and comment to let me know that you enjoyed this video and would like me to make more videos like this. Till next time!